Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to talk about quite interesting case. This is Thermaltake AH T200, which supports up to microATX and miniITX motherboards. You can place at the bottom full-size ATX power supply, and you do have some limitations when it comes to graphic card. Now, talking about the LCS support, it can support standard AIO 240 right at the front, and I think you can squeeze at the top. You can place two 120mm fans. Now, what's the deal with this case? It does look completely different than from everything we did so far, and I would say something interesting. Now, the mission for this build was to place a custom loop inside with soft tubing, and as you might have seen on my Instagram profile, I already placed some pictures there. You could go custom loop inside, but then you have limitations towards your GPU length. And because of that, I had to use the XFX Radeon RX 580 XXX GT SoC, just because of the length. Because first you can squeeze in the fans, you can squeeze in the radiator, and then you need to place pump res combo. After that you have some limitations when it comes to GPU. But quite interesting thing, if they, for instance, the PCI brackets, these could be extended to this part of the chassis and make a vertical mount, which would be more interesting, because in that case you could place quite large graphic card. And when I say quite large, I mean even the Asus GeForce RTX 3070 Ti could be placed vertically here with the radiator and the pump res combo at front. Now, when it comes to piping and everything we decided to go with soft tubing, just to make it a bit of a different approach, but you can easily squeeze in hard tubing and manage everything. Now let's just open this side panel. As you can see, it kind of has a different tempered glass side panel, and there you go. So in this build, I used also Asus B560MA Prime motherboard with 11600K. We have there are quite interesting RAMs inside as well. So these are Thermaltake Tough RAM 2x8 GB Racing Red. So you have diversity in colors. You can choose if you go with a specific theme, and that's why we decided to go with red coolant and red RAMs. It was supposed to go with a nice RTX 3070 Ti, but unfortunately, since I couldn't squeeze in the vertical mount, I had to go with a shorter card. Now, it's quite compact, but still you have a bit of an excess of space right here at the front, giving you maybe some sort of a cable management options, but still it's in a way that it's fully open at the front, so you can't hide the cables. The cables could be placed at the back, and that's the only position. Now, when we're talking about the back side, it's quite clear and easy to manage everything, even the cables. And you have three 2.5-inch hard drive brackets or SSD brackets, depending on which you decide to use. But then again, if you go with the miniITX motherboard, you have additionally space for the M.2 SSD. I mean, even in the miniITX as well. So radiator on front, you can place, as I said, 4 fans, and you can even squeeze two 140mm fans. But then the 8-pin cable going from the CPU needs to go some sort of a horizontally beneath the fans, because you don't have any extra opening on top for the cables. If you go with 120, you have enough space to push the cable through. You do need to connect it before placing the fan. Interesting case, completely different design, something that we're definitely not used to. But there's also the AH T200, which supports ATX motherboards. Unfortunately, I would have to say that one thing that is missing, but I still managed to do it. Placing the pump and res combo wasn't tricky. but it would be interesting if they placed some additional holes, mounting brackets or whatever on the bottom part of the chassis, giving you a possibility to mount the pump press combo. This way you don't have to drill holes or anything. I mean, okay, if you decide to mod the case, it's cool, but with this one I use the standard brackets that go around the reservoir and basically use the extra holes that you have on the side. So that's that. Huge opening here at the back. Since it's more like an open chassis, you don't need a fan right here because the fans from the front are pushing the air through the whole chassis, giving you quite a decent airflow. You do have loads of screws. Dismantling the case, you have loads of screws, so my advice to you, if you decide to go with this one, label each screw where it goes, otherwise you will definitely go crazy with loads of screws. But still, it's a case that is possible to dismantle completely and ideal for modding. I would have to say that this case is ideal for modding. You could do wonders with it, and that's it. At the bottom we have the Thermaltake Tough Power I series. This is iRGB plus 850 watts platinum, which is fully modular power supply, and even though it's more than enough for the set that is currently here, but I wanted to go with additional RGB on the fans on top, synchronize it with the motherboard and the RAMs, and get that red, white, black combination, which always looks quite interesting. Now the only thing and the only obstacle I found here was, as I already stated at the beginning, the GPU length. So this is something that they should work on in the future. Connect the PCI Express slot to this one, to this pole right here, and give us end users and reviewers to be able to place a vertical GPU mount, or at least acquire a GPU mount that can be replaced with this one right here, because it's completely removable, and this will give us an option to place a custom loop inside, vertical GPU, and everything will fit perfectly fine. After all, the GPU can be placed later on after you do everything with the pipes, with the tubing, with the fittings, radiator fans, and everything else. Unfortunately, there's a limitation when it comes to custom loop. You can only place 240 radiator, but still, if you only want to cool the processor, I think that's more than enough. Finally, I would like to say that this case is definitely something different and definitely something that you're not used to, but quite attractive design when it comes to, it kind of reminds me of an old school chopper that was military based, especially with the front panels, and quite loads of space for the intake. There's basically no restrictions when it comes to airflow, which I always prefer in any kind of case. So guys, I hope you like this, I would say, small water-cooled build, which was kind of a challenge since it only accepts AIOs up to 240 or 280, but still it's something different on the channel, and I wanted to show you this build that I've done. So that's it. I'll place the links for the AH T200 Thermaltake case in the description below. You could check the prices and definitely some more specifications if I might have missed something. Don't forget to subscribe for future content, click the thumbs up button and push the notification bell for future builds, because we're planning quite some interesting stuff in the future, and I hope you won't miss it. Thank you for watching again, and hopefully I will see you in another one. Bye bye.